On this episode of Playlog, we're talking about our third book club game, Moonstone Island.
Such professionality.
Where are we at? And Joe Rogan gets more views than me? That's crazy. And I'm out here doing this shit.
That is crazy.
Hey guys, what's up? CGDannyB back again with another episode of Playlog, the podcast where we talk all things indie gaming. But of course, it'd be boring to talk indie games alone, so I've got my partner in crime, the Play Nice Kid themselves, Tofr. What's poppin', homie?
I'm still shocked that Joe Rogan gets more views than you do.
That's what I'm saying. I just don't get it. Like, that being said, Joe Rogan is one of those things. Like, I have no personal beef with Joe Rogan. I have no hill to die on about Joe Rogan. I have watched Joe Rogan clips where I'm like, man, these people are psychotic sometimes. There are things they say. And I found out about Leo Vaughn through Joe Rogan clips. I think Theo Vaughn's really funny. So, like, I don't know, Joe, if you ever want to, I don't know, when I go on the Joe Rogan podcast, I don't think that's the platform for me.
No,
I don't think that's the place to go. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
You stay here, right here.
Yeah, I stay here.
On the Playlog podcast.
Yeah. That being said, if Joe's like $1 million a day, I'm like, actually, I'm sorry, Tofr, I got to make that move. Financially, I'd be irresponsible not to.
Wow. Wow.
Yes.
That's your price?
Correct. $1 million a day? Yes. That's 365, give or take, $1 million a year. Yes. I would absolutely take that.
Fair.
Fair indeed. Chat real quick, because we're doing this episode live. Don't forget, I will be here. We're reading the chat. May not necessarily read every message out loud, just depending on the conversation happening or whatever. But if there's anything regarding the topics we're discussing that is worth reading, we'll absolutely do that. And so anyone to feel like they're being ignored because we're, having the discussion in a podcast type environment. But we see you, we love you. Do not feel ignored. You'll always be in our hearts. And I see everybody crying about, why is Kevin gone? Of course Kevin's not here. This is not a 3C podcast.
To meet him. I was hoping to meet him.
He's not even in the scene. No. I have to go and add him and all that shit. Just you can see him on Mondays, Thursdays, and Saturdays and twitch.tv/CGDannyB and blah, 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 blah. Real quick, guys, this is Playlog Podcast. Again, podcast to talk all things indie gaming. Typically, this is the part we do an icebreaker, but I don't have any questions written in from you guys. So don't forget to use the form in the description of any YouTube video or Spotify podcast to write in with your favorite questions, talk about your favorite indie games, ask us about life, etc., etc. But today, we don't have that. So your voices can't be heard. It's like voting. Make sure you go to vote.com to vote. But if you don't vote, you don't get a chance to complain. So if you're like, oh, I never get to show up in the podcast, you didn't write in. I don't know what to tell you. You didn't write in, dog. Sorry. But I guess without that, we'll just hop into the quick indie news. See, now I got to keep checking chat to make sure it's nothing important. You're just a bad parent. This is neglectful. Medic, jump in a hole. Jump in a hole. Anyway, whatever. First headline here with the quick indie news is Switch 2 gets a first confirmed release in My Time in Portia sequel. This one's from Ed Nightingale over at Eurogamer. Again, Eurogamer carrying the show. The Kickstarter campaign for My Time at Evershine launched earlier today, which this article is from today. Yes. And reached a goal of $200,000 in 35 minutes. Studio Pathia Games has further stretch goals yet to be reached, up to $500,000. But with 29 days left, it seems poised to hit these targets too. Those targets include adding flirting and a new romance interaction for players to vote on. Earlier today, Level 5 announced their next game would be coming to secret platforms. Right? So between these two in development games, it seems appetite. I've never heard that. Is that a common phrase?
It seems what?
It seems appetite.
Wait. Where is that?
Underneath the defeat Trump ad that I'm getting. Either way, for the developers for the Switch 2 is ramping up, and then there's the original one. But hey, a new My Time in game. That's exciting, and teasing it for the Switch. Also exciting.
Yeah, they're up to like $530,000 right now.
What the fuck?
Kickstarter in just one day.
What?
Like less than one day. It's insane. They've got over 6,500 backers.
Then they how much money?
But now it's at 548,000.
But they have 600. So some people are giving quarters, is what I'm hearing.
Maybe.
Guys, $5 a month. Okay, sorry, that's a bad bit for this one. But yeah, so I've never gotten into the My Time games. I think I was gonna try Sandrock. Was that the last one?
Sandrock, yeah.
Sandrock. Yeah, I thought about trying that one. Just when it came out, I was playing something else, so I never really sunk my teeth into it. And I'm honestly a little surprised they're already announcing a new one this soon after the first one. I feel like the gap between the first two was so much more. But I think the more exciting thing is that it's that tease for like the Switch 2, because we've been getting these like Switch 2 teases. Last week we had all the leaks of like the actual console and like the new buttons and what could these mean, and then whether that's real or not. It seems like that Switch 2 announcement is just like ever much so more imminent, like it's right around the corner. And I guess this maybe formally being the first announced game for the platform is pretty cool. I like that.
Yeah, it does say on Kickstarter that if by the release of the game, the Switch 2 or whatever it's going to be called isn't out yet, then you can switch your key to another platform.
Oh, okay. Valid. See, that takes me back to Mika when we were like talking about getting our Mika keys, and I saw the one guy who was just like, I requested a key for a physical one, but because I don't get a key, I don't get to play the game to the physical. In my head, it was just like, I want the Switch one or the Switch 2 version, but I guess I can take a PlayStation one for now, blah, 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 blah. But I hope that can stay organized enough. Also, Hypnotic yelling at me about the Google form. Hypnotic, your mother. I'm sure she's a lovely woman. I'm trying to think, did I not read yours on a previous episode? Maybe you didn't watch the episode. Maybe that's your problem. Maybe you're like, Danny, you didn't read mine. Oh shit, this is new. I'll tell you this. I don't know when you wrote it, Hypnotic. I checked this about 15 minutes ago. You weren't here. So I need some time to think on that one. Tell you what, we'll do that one for episode 29. Promise you. Love you. Mwah. But we could definitely do your favorite indie game, yeah? Yeah, we could do that for sure. Yeah, My Time at Evershine. This first indie story has been a mess. Yeah, the thoughts on Evershine.
Slightly, yeah. I think it's promising. Like my friend Daphne is a really big fan of the Sandrock game. Mm-hmm. She told me that there's gonna be like continuation from that story.
Ooh, okay.
I don't know if that was the case from Porsche to Sandrock, yeah, but it will be the case now. So I think it's an example of devs listening to their fans, which I always like.
That's really exciting because I think the thing with indies, right, is like you can easily be pigeonholed into like this is what your genre, your franchise is. So thinking like we have My Time in Porsche, Sandrock, and now Evershine, was it? Yeah, Evershine. Yeah. To be like, this is what we make for the rest of the time, and then the moment they try something new, it's does it hit, or is it just like, just stick with what you do right? And like, I never want them to be stuck there. But if the team's happy making something that's the same every time, expanding on it, awesome, keep it up.
I'm not sure if gameplay is gonna be similar because really? in My Time at Sandrock, you're like this builder. Okay. Who helps out the community by building stuff. But in Evershine, you're gonna be the governor. So how that will influence gameplay, I'm eager to find out.
Yeah. Hold on, I haven't looked. Oh god, this is a 13-minute video. I thought it was gonna be just a trailer. Maybe it's just a loop of the trailer. Oh wait. Oh, hold on. Maybe it's a little cinematic. At this point, I should just pulled up the Kickstarter, but interesting. No, that sounds cool. Like I guess I would imagine it's a similar gameplay, but like there's technical things about it. Like you're not necessarily placing all the buildings and stuff. You're just doing the thing and or you're telling people where to go and where that's building up to being that, or like you just kind of drop into the role. You said governor of bet. Listen, I deserve to be in charge of something. $533,000 in the first day. That dude, that's
insane, right?
That's so great. These indie success stories, and they're like, yo, first day we kind of already killed it. I think that also goes to show like the strategy for Kickstarter. I think a lot of people will be like, hey, our Kickstarter just went up without like building the audience, and this is a weird because they have 2 games already that like they have that audience, of course. But I think I'm still getting emails for Outbound. I'm still getting like that they hit their goals and they're like, hey, a couple more days. I think that was a couple days ago that they were in their last day. So I think it's over now. So I'm gonna have to double check. But like I saw them on Instagram, Twitter, all the different platforms to build that audience and then start the Kickstarter. So I think that's super like the best way to build that. And I think they're always just, yeah, we figured it out. We're good. We know what we're doing. But yeah.
Yeah, Outbound got 265,000, so that's not too bad.
Let's go. Do they have what their goal is there?
Where can I?
Fucking fine. I'm really bad at looking at Kickstarter.
They met the goal, but I can't see what their original goal was.
Okay, so they're just like, we just crush it. Don't worry about it. Those are peas at the time. But yeah, Evershine, first confirmed game for the Switch 2 or whatever we called it. Someone said here, it'll be the Nintendo Switch Ultra or something dumb like that. That's what I'm expecting. We call it the Switch 2 for filler time. I don't think it's gonna be the Switch 2. I hope they don't go with the Wii U thing and go the Wii U. They do need to do something that like differentiates it, because that was the problem with the Wii U. Everyone thought it was just a tablet add-on. I think if you don't highlight that this is a Switch successor, this is a new version of the Switch, which is why you want to go buy the new one, everyone's gonna be like, oh well, we have a Switch at home. So
maybe they can go for like Switch a Wii.
I don't
just to confuse everyone. Just to confuse everyone.
Oh, and I like, just update to my Wii that's sitting in my closet.
Yeah. And then the ads can be, it's a me, Switch a Wii.
It's a me, Switch a Wii. Listen, as funny as that sounds here, if that's the trailer we get when this thing gets announced, I might actually cringe. I don't know. I don't know if I don't really want that in my life. I think I'm okay without that. But yeah,
listen, Nintendo, if you want that name, just contact me.
Grab the copyright now.
Yeah, we can talk business.
Check the domain for Switch Wii and see what that runs you. Then see how much money you can get from Nintendo after the fact. Alrighty. Hey, how about headline 2 here? Imaginary timestamp. Dead by Daylight Oh god, here we go. Dead by Daylight's Behavior Interactive hooks Darkest Dungeon developer. When I tell you this, before we get into the story, y'all know I hate Dead by Daylight. So my first gut instinct was like, no, this is terrible. But it's actually not that bad. It's pretty cool. This one's from Victoria Kennedy over at, once again, Eurogamer. Behavior Interactive is buying Darkest Dungeon developer Red Hook Studios. Sharing the news today, Behavior is known for their work on the multiplayer survival game Dead by Daylight, said Red Hook Games will remain a fully independent studio under the Behavior banner, and was ecstatic about the acquisition. That's an easy sentence. Quote, Darkest Dungeon has long been a series we've admired, enjoyed, and maybe even lost a little sleep over as fans. Behavior wrote on social media platform X, we look forward to... Nope, my phone heard me. I did not ask for you. Shut up. It was Googling stuff. We look forward to supporting Red Hook as they continue to do the best they do what they do best. Put your sanity to the test. In a separate statement, Behavior CEO and co-founder Remy Racine, I believe is how you say it, called it a privilege to welcome the Darkest Dungeon developers into the fold. Earlier this year, we established an ambitious goal of our future for our future as a publisher to make Behavior synonymous with horror and surround Dead by Daylight with a library of similarly exceptional horror games. Our acquisition of Red Hook is another emphatic step towards this objective, with more to come. So this is pretty cool. I love it because I'm not a Darkest Dungeon person, nor am I a fan of Dead by Daylight. Mm-hmm. But like, this is just a studio who has some pull. Who's like, by the way, we're showing some love to this studio, and if this means Darkest Dungeon 2 gets even better, if this means Darkest Dungeon 3 is fucking insane with whatever backing they have behind it, let's go. I love that for the team.
Yeah, absolutely. It's interesting to see, like, now I guess now they're no longer indie since they joined Behavior. But they were one of the companies behind the AAA initiative. So I'm curious to see how that will continue.
Yeah, like I said, I think that was my first thing where you're like, oh, they bought the Red Hook, and then in the quote, like, they're fully independent studio under the Behavior banner, which, to me, I don't know the contract behind this and how it all worked, or like how the ownership goes, how much Behavior has say over Darkest Dungeon, versus just a funding thing. But this screams like Helldivers under PlayStation, where like Arrowhead is so independent, they do their own thing. Just Helldivers was a contracted thing for PlayStation. Whether this is just like, hey, we are Behavior. We don't necessarily own or do anything for the Red Hook team. They do all their stuff, but like we get to throw their name on any of our advertising. Like, yes, we have Red Hook. We do Red Hook. Like that's our thing. Like if that's as simple as it gets, it's a cool marketing thing. Bet. I say this is a very personal perspective, not like an overall market business perspective. Just I don't like Dead by Daylight as a whole. I'm not into horror. I get pissed off every time I play it. There's an infamous Twitch clip of somebody like, Danny, quick, give me a nomenclature, quick review of Dead by Daylight. And I'm like, I hate this game. It's terrible. If you play this, no one loves you. You don't love yourself. Blah 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 blah. Like I just rambled for a minute about how much I hated Dead by Daylight. Wow. That being said, if like a couple months from now we get a dope trailer where like I don't know any characters from Darkest Dungeon, but like one of the most prominent ones that would just be like the new killer, and it's like the dude with the axe or something. I'm like, that's exciting. That's kind of cool. I'm not gonna play it, but I'm excited that like that representation's there. Yeah, that was really cool. I like that a lot. Yeah, I love it. I was just, oh no, not Dead by Daylight and Danny combo. Yeah, I'll fucking rip and rant. But no, yeah, I think the distinction on indie is a weird thing here, and I'm not sure how that's going to translate, especially moving forward with the AAA. I don't know if it's just like there's like a brotherhood type thing I see with indie games where I feel like it's not to be like, oh, you're bigger than us now, we're not going to talk to you anymore. But also, I don't know what that would be for AAA, but hopefully it's nothing crazy like that. We just ignore it.
Yeah, we'll see.
And then the third headline here, which we probably won't have a whole lot to say on, but I think it's important to call these things out as they keep happening. Gamers Group employees reportedly hit with more layoffs. This one is from Sophie McEnvoy, I apologize, over at gamesindustry.biz. There's an update here at the top. Let's start with this. So, actually, no, we'll do the update. An employee impacted by the layoffs told gamesindustry.biz that 30 people were terminated at 8 a.m. this morning via email and were immediately cut off from Slack and their gamer group email accounts. The email detailed the reasons for the layoffs, which cited unprecedented shifts in the industry, specifically related to Google's helpful content update in 2023 and the decline in Google's search and discovery traffic. Stop! My phone keeps listening when I say Google. And discover traffic across all sites. Gamesindustry.biz has also seen screenshots from a message from Gamer Group CEO Riyadh Chikhani and CCO Kevin Morris sent into the HR Slack channel, which said the layoffs represent a significant but important restructuring of the business and its current priorities. Layoffs, man. These suck. These are shitty. These are so shitty.
They are.
Yeah. It's the thing.
It's interesting that.
No, go for it.
Oh, it's interesting to see how like the games media industry is being as badly affected as the games industry itself.
It's terrible, dude. And like it's one of those things where I feel like every week we have a new one of these, and it's hard to say anything new and innovative. Like I can't believe this is what happened. Like it is kind of just the same repeating thing each week of this sucks, be better to people. This sucks, like find that thing. And it's unfortunate that like the first vision you have every week is now how much of a cut did the CEO take? Probably none. Just to be like, all right, if we let 30 people go, I can still keep my yacht and blah 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 blah. And not that I necessarily think the gamesindustry.biz CEO is running a yacht, but maybe they are. But I hate it. I hate it so much. But I feel like it's still important to call out because the more we just ignore people getting laid off, the more it's going to happen. And eventually we're just be desensitized to it. And like some would probably even say we already are. Like,
probably, yeah.
I remember seeing headlines where I wake up like, oh shit, this happened versus like, okay, we got another one. That's great. So this sucks. I really do hate seeing just the headline of like, yeah, we just let a bunch of people go just because the industry changed. And I think, again, as someone who's not business savvy, in my head, I'm just like, cool, the industry changed. How do we work with the team that we have to make that better? And hopefully not being like, we have redundancies. We can't keep using these people, but having some kind of setup to be like, cool, we can move you to this, or we can have you do this instead. So we're still having you employed, or at least giving some kind of decent turnaround. Not this, hey, the morning of you got an email saying don't show up. By the way, anything you may have had, like resources, accounts, stuff you might need for a future job opportunity, whatever, we're just going to cut that off. You don't get access to that. Like, that's shitty. I hate that.
It is.
That's the worst part of this one.
When I checked Twitter today for the first time, all I could see was like people who are part of that layoffs, just tweeting out like, "Please get in touch. Please get in touch. We don't have any access to our emails anymore."
Yeah.
And you do like, it's terrible.
The games industry fucking sucks sometimes, dude.
Sometimes it does.
I want to fight somebody. I really do. Not that it really has anything to do with me, but also it does. I care. But yeah, once again, be better to people. Let's be better to people who are making and reporting on our games. I know games press get a lot of just flack for existing. You just don't like the same game somebody else does, and all of a sudden you're a terrible human being, and it's like, oh, crazy. Like, death threats, the whole 9 yards. It's just not worth it. I don't care. I know why people care so much, but they do. So these people need even more love and respect than most. But
absolutely.
Thanks, press. Keep doing what you guys do. I hope you all find somewhere nice and lovely to end up after this unfortunate situation here.
Indeed.
But with that, that is all of our indie news today. So it's on to the topic of the show, where Tofr, you got to pick Moonstone Island for this month's book club. I don't know where I want to start here. Do you want to start by telling us like why you picked the game, and then maybe tell us what Moonstone Island is?
The thing is, I've owned Moonstone Island since it came out, just over a year ago now. And I started playing it, and then I put it down one day and never returned to it. And I like, for the life of me, I can't figure out why I didn't return to it. Because this game is just about everything I love in games in one package. Because it has like your farming and social simulator, similar to Stardew Valley. It has monster taming, similar to Pokemon. It has card-based battles, similar to Slay the Spire. Like, this is everything I would dream of when I would make my own game, I guess. And yeah, I needed an excuse to go back to it, and I thought why not pull Danny in as well, because he had such a rough time last month.
Let me tell you, man. Let me tell you. This was the palate cleanser I needed, man. Kentucky Route Zero was such a headache. Like, literally, last month we did Kentucky Route Zero. I bitched him on how much I didn't enjoy it, how much fun I did not have with that game. And then you're like, Moonstone Island. I'm like, cool. Let me do that right now. So I had installed the game. I played it on my Steam Deck. I think the first night I put like 5 or 6 hours into it, and I was like, yeah, okay, this hits. This is what I needed right now. And I've had a blast. I should probably pull up Steam and see how many hours I have in it. But yeah, I've been calling it Stardew Valley cross Pokemon, this entire time. I think that's one of the best ways to kind of explain it. And then I keep wanting to say roguelike, and I don't know if roguelike really fits that descriptor. As I pull it up here, oh god, I have 38.2 hours right now in Moonstone Island, which is actually a little more than I thought, but I'm cool with that. But yeah, no, I've thoroughly enjoyed it. As someone who never really got into Stardew, I see why people do, but it was one of those ones I feel like I missed the boat on that. So even as I jumped in, I was in the little dinghy being drug along on the rope, where I'm like, I don't know that I need to catch back up. I don't need to pull on the rope to climb onto the ship. I'll just hang back. Where Moonstone Island feels still small enough, and this month is the 1 year anniversary, but I feel like I don't see the explosion that I see with Stardew Valley, where I'm just like, dude, Moonstone Island's it. If y'all are done with freaking Stardew and you're like, I need something new but something similar, Moonstone Island is so great. I've loved almost every single thing about it. I guess I put in there why I put Moonstone Island over Stardew. Why? Really,
I was wondering why you put that in there.
Yeah, I guess for me, I was saying, since I'm not the Stardew guy, I think the thing that made it stand out to me was adding the Pokemon stuff to it. I'm also a much bigger fan of the art style from Moonstone Island. I love pixel art, but sometimes there's a simplicity to it that kind of could be a turnoff for me. Specifically in Stardew's art style, I don't love the way all the moving character sprites, the overworld sprites. But seeing I guess it would be 8 different directions of our character going at different angles as they're flying or running, and then seeing all the different monsters, which I keep just by default calling them Pokemon, but they're spirits. But seeing all the cool new spirits as I'm wandering around, it's oh, there's a goofy little beaver. I don't even know if there's a beaver in this game, but running into. There's a weird beach ball with sunglasses. There's a freaking cat that has magical psychic abilities in his head. Like, this is really cool. Like, it is that perfect combination of loving Pokemon and finding what everyone loves about Stardew and then smacking them together. And we're both fairly early on, because you said you were in summer.
I just started fall.
Okay. I think I'm in like the late fall. I'm in like the 25 through 28-ish days. And I think it's like 30 days a season or something like that. But yeah, essentially the way the game starts out is you're this young alchemist. You're hanging out with your parents. Or like, let me teach you about gardening and everything. And let me show you what these spirits are. And you get to pick your starter, which is between... Well, which starter did you take? Who did you take as your starter?
What's his name? Sheep.
Sheep, perfect. I also took Sheep. So I'll pull up this Moonstone Island wiki for this one. But yeah, so you get to pick between 3 different starters. There's Sheep, which is the fire sheep. There is Capacitor, which is an electric bee. And there's little T-Rex, who I don't remember his name, but I picked him in the demo. Ended up going with another direction. But yeah, here's
Charmander.
My adorable little guy. I love him. This is Sheep. He is precious to me. I love him. Plus, at least in my world, it was really hard to get a fire type early on, so I'm glad I went with the fire type. I was able to get earth and electric pretty quickly, but now I have a fire boy. But yeah, so once you get your first spirit, you get set loose, you fly out to an island, and you crash your broom instantly. So now your whole thing is to like survive on this island, meet some of the folks, build a relationship with them, build a new broom, and explore the rest of the islands as you find these temples which have different like emblems in them, and you have to collect all of them for, I forget why, but it's fun. So get the charms.
I think it has to do with like why the world of this game is so torn apart. You've got all these different islands, and I think it wasn't always that way.
Yeah.
And I think going for all like battling in the temples and reaching their ends, I think it is supposed to like fix the world.
Yeah. Okay.
So like no pressure.
No pressure. You just. I know you're doing your alchemist thing. You're planting some flowers, but like could you reverse Pangea for us real quick? That'd be pretty lit.
I think it's also like linked to you've got the magic man who lives in this walking hut.
Yeah, it's very
and he has a mirror that's been broken, and it's like a memory mirror or something. And you have to collect the shards from dungeons to rebuild the mirror. I think that ties into like the temple stuff.
Yeah. I think I have about half of the mirror where I'm currently at. Okay. So essentially, I guess the typical flow of it is as you wake up every morning, you have basically, when you start, I think like 6 a.m. to 2 a.m. To get your stuff done. And you have a stamina bar. So sorry, I'm blocking it for anyone watching the video version. But you start with, I think it's like a stamina bar of like 300. Each task can be somewhere between like 5 to 10 stamina, depending what you're doing. If you drain your stamina, you pass out wherever you're standing. This was kind of tedious for me at first. And this I'm like, this is something I got to deal with. But eventually I just kind of like sucked it up and found like, bring these potions with me. So the moment your character gets like tired, and they show it, and hopefully it'll show up here in the footage. But like once you hit like 60 or 40 or something, the character is like whew, okay, I gotta calm down. So like you have this very blatant like, hey, you're tired. Like, make sure you don't mess up. So there is no excuse. I'm like, the game didn't tell me. Like there, right here, you can see the character kind of like huff and puff for a minute. That kind of made it better for me because I knew like either I just go home, I travel back. I think the biggest thing with that was once I was on another island and I got tired, you have to use stamina to get back by flying or doing whatever, unless you built a bridge, which I recently started doing. But if you're flying, you use stamina, so you might just fall, plummet, and then you wake up in the magic man's house like, hey, gotta be careful out here, you know what I mean? He's a good guy. I would trust him with my drink.
Did you not get the flute?
I did. So then once you get the well, how early do we get the flute, right? Is that, I thought it was after like a couple dungeons. Maybe it wasn't, I just didn't know I had it.
I can't remember when I got it. It's pretty early on, but it allows you to like once a day you can use it to fly back to your island without using stamina.
Sorry, I see my date in the screen. Don't worry about it.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
We'll talk about dates. We'll talk about dates. We'll talk about dates. We'll talk about dates. Yeah, I found eventually when I found I had the whistle or got the whistle, that became less of an issue. But I know at first when I was like, I gotta find materials or whatever, I did struggle a little bit with like my stamina because I didn't quite have the list in my head of like which ingredients I need. Another important thing to note is as you're finding different plants, you don't necessarily want to just pick them right away and eat them, because if you harvest them and get the seeds, you can take them to the shop with Ophelia and Gianna, who I don't know the word for it, they magically reproduce the seeds, so you can buy them in the shop. So if I find one that's in like the spring season, I turn it into them, and then we're in winter where I can no longer grow that, I can put it in my greenhouse because I bought the seeds from Rowan, I think it is, and then I can grow them all year round, so I have the right item that I need. Apparently as the seasons go, they get much better, so you want to make sure you're getting more of the seeds so that when you get back around to cycle to the new seasons, you're still having like the right ingredients with the most help. I don't know why I sat here and fucking clipped a pause screen for so long. I'm trying to think. I kind of just been rambling about the game. Do you have any thoughts here on either what I said or things you want to like put in there?
I'm really curious because I feel like we've tackled this game in very different ways.
Okay.
Because, for example, I didn't struggle with the lack of stamina at the start of the game.
Okay.
But that's mostly because I was focused on the battles.
Okay.
I was doing the battles, so my monsters got tired, but I didn't.
Yeah, that's valid.
Yeah, and I just wonder, like, what was your focus when you started playing? Did you start expanding your house? Did you start with the socializing, or did you start with the monster battles?
I definitely think I focus on the house first. I ran in. I want to make sure that like my house is here and I have things functioning. I'm very much like let everything happen that can automate itself while I'm doing the other things. So as soon as I could, I wanted to make sure I had my crops growing, everything else operating, so that while I was out exploring for dungeons or trying to find new spirits and everything, my house was doing what it needed to do, whether I was farming for materials and like smelting iron, or I had my potions brewing, or not necessarily having something cooking because that's so quick. Like I would just come home to burnt food every time. Like I need to stop doing that. That can't work. I can't do that one. But yeah, I definitely like focus on getting the house situated, which now where I'm at, I feel like I just picked a poor spot because it's sort of just right above town. Like I've yet to make a second house and put it on the other island just because I'm like, oh, my moonstones, they're so rare. I don't want to just use them on another house. I have a house. But I made sure the house was good to go. That's when I started to explore and increase my pals. This is Pal World, yeah. My spirits.
No.
It's tough. Everyone calls them something different. No, we got spirits and pals and Pokemon and Koromon, all of them. But yeah, I went house first, then I probably went spirits, and then I guess technically I did relationships the entire time. Every single day I was get up, run to town, talk to everybody, go back to the house, do what I had to do, and then rinse and repeat. So I think I'm at the point where I have like 4 or 5 of the people like maxed out, but I still got to talk to them every day. I'm just like, I know you already like fully love me, but like, what if you fully love me some more?
Okay. I like the socializing, I only got into, I think, at the start of summer.
Okay.
I spent the entirety of spring just discovering different islands.
Yeah.
Evolving from the balloon to the broom.
Yes.
As quickly as possible. And I think that was it. Like I've entered fall now, and I still only have like 20 plots on my for farming.
Okay.
I don't have the greenhouse yet, which I really should get to.
I had to do a lot of grinding for some of the things because they give you the recipes and you want to you want to make all of them, but then a lot of them require moonstones, which either you have to go out to dungeons and find or luckily find laying on the island. So they're like a really rare resource. So I'm really stingy with mine, where I'm like, not until I know I need this thing. But speaking of which, the glider, the step after the broom, as soon as you can.
Yes.
That's just such a game changer, dog.
I know. I have it.
It's so good. It's so good. It's so much faster. But yeah, I know you're saying the way you're playing,
Yeah, and I I'm at the start of fall, and now I already have covered most of the entire world map.
Yeah.
I think I discovered 90% of all the islands. There's plenty of them where the spirits are way too high a level to like do anything really, but at least it allows me to like harvest some plants.
Good call.
And get seeds like that. But yeah, the socializing I didn't get into because that was one of the things that I bounced off of the first time I played this.
Okay.
Because the first time you talk to a villager during a day, they have something to say, and then if you want to continue talking, you just get these 3 options: chat, joke, or flirt. And that felt a bit weird to me. Like I wanted dialogue where those options were. I started liking it more the longer I played the game.
Okay.
But it's still something like when we talk about this versus Stardew, in Stardew you're always having conversations. And sure, they get repetitive after the first year, but they're conversations, and they're not just like, "Ooh, I have 50% chance of getting friendship points with this option." It felt a little too tactical. While I want my social interactions to just be that, social interactions.
Interesting. I think I'm in a similar yet different boat. I didn't mind. At first, I was like really staggered with it because it was the failure that I'm like, what am I doing wrong? What am I not doing right? How am I not min-maxing these relationships? Where I would roll in, and I think you start with like, I think it's 70% with chatting or somewhere in that ballpark. It's high enough, but still like it's the highest option, but low. And you're like, hey, how you doing today? You just hit chat. And they just go like they didn't like, I'm like, what did I do? I'm sorry. Like, was it an action that I took? And it's literally just RNG of like, there's a 30% chance you'll fail. There's a 70% chance you'll pass. But you get 3 talking points a day. And you either hit talk. Oh no, it's chat, joke, and flirt. Flirt's always the lowest because you're just like, I don't know if I like this new guy yet. But eventually I figured out it is all just like hit X and hopefully it happens. I would just go every day and just chat. Once I got that to 100%, I made sure everybody would always chat. Even when like joke was like 90, I'm like, that's still 10% chance I'll lose. I'm going to stick with chat. And so I'm going to increase that again. Now for a lot of them, I have joke at 100%, which gives like 2 extra points per success. And even my highest flirt is still like 90%, but that's on the one I'm in a relationship with who like, it doesn't matter. At this point, it doesn't matter what I hit. I have the hearts across the screen. She's in love with me. It doesn't matter.
Wow, that's the way you look at it.
That's not what I meant. I love her. But I do think I agree with like wishing the dialogue was a little more like impactful and like there's actual conversations. Because I think there's time you run into like the amount of times I've run into Ophelia. She's like, Quill seems to be at Quinn. The big muscular black guy, yeah. He's Quill. It seems like he's having a bad day. You should go talk to him. And I'm like, okay. But like nothing comes out of that. I'm like, is that a narrative line that I need to bring something to him? Do I need to give him the right gift? And he'll be like, I gotta confess, I love you, and I just didn't think you loved me back, or like anything like that. So there seems to be like world building that isn't really world building necessarily, but like it does encourage me to go talk to everybody every single day. I just really don't get anything out of it. But yeah, I feel like if I was building the relationships, like where I'm at with like Farah, there's every time you go on a date with someone, there's a conversation and there's like, I think 2 right answers and a wrong answer, which I'm excited to talk about my first wrong answer because I felt like such a dumbass when I hit it. But yeah, as you build up these relationships, there'll be conversation of like, oh, I feel like this. And like everyone in town is so like to themselves. I just wish like I'm so outgoing, but nobody else is. So the fact that you're here, like, I feel like we're the same kind of person. That feels really good to me. I'm like, oh, that's really great. That's awesome. But that's kind of it. That's kind of the depths of the relationships, which isn't necessarily bad if you don't care so much about talking. If you're more into like the survival and the Pokemon part of it, great. Then it's just kind of an extra thing you can do. Because maybe you know or not, is there any additional thing to being in a relationship or maxing out that love? Like I thought there'd be like a bigger discount or an item or something, and I don't think I've seen anything. I think it's just the glory of saying she's my girlfriend.
I think so. Yeah, you make this armband.
Yeah.
And then you gift that, and then you're official. And I don't know after that if anything if you can like live together or anything like that. I don't know.
Yeah, it hasn't, at least where I'm at, it hasn't seemed like you can, and maybe that's like an end of the year more progression type deal, or maybe it's just not that big of a focus point. But I will say I do love that. I was thinking of doing the battles first, but I want to get into the relationships. I want to talk about the relationships.
Okay.
The way the game works, we say as you talk to people and you build up the relationships and they like you more, and I'm hoping to find townsfolk. Not the document. You guys can't see that. Doesn't matter if they see it. So real quick, you can see in my house I have a portrait of my girlfriend Farah hanging on the wall. I tell you, the moment I saw that, it had Paolo's face in it, and I'm like, let me have that. I hung it up on the wall and I just spammed the button. I'm like, Farah, got it, boom. That's been on the house basically since like day 3.
Oh wow, okay.
The moment I could buy it, I think I was like super poor at the time, so I ran out, grabbed a bunch of rocks, sold them in the box, and then I was like, oh, that couldn't work because you don't get the money till the next day. Either way, I found the money to buy this thing. I needed it. But
why don't you show people the bed?
Yeah, go for it. It's over in the corner somewhere. It's chilling. Now hold on. I forget. I don't know if at this point I might still have the basic bed in this clip. I don't know if I have the good bed. Okay. I might have the good bed. We'll see. But yeah, as you build relationships, you can ask people on a date. Depending, you can go to the beach, the tavern, or the hot springs, and each one is similar to like talking. There's a higher difficulty for them or whatever. I hard focus Farah, and it sounds like you did too.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
All right, so let's talk about why we love our girlfriend so much. Why did you like Farah?
Because she acts all confident, but she's not all that confident, and also she has the muscles.
Yeah, muscular girl, pink hair was kind of it. I was looking up the guide. Oh no, I just have the regular bed here. Damn. I do have a heart-shaped bed. I can find the footage of it then. But yeah, I think I looked up a guide on how to actually like confirm the relationship, what I had to do to find out about the bands and stuff. And the guide was just like, Farrah's the easiest one to romance. I'm like, don't you ever say that about my girlfriend again. I will come over and find who wrote this article and I will beat you up. Don't you ever disrespect my woman again.
Jesus.
But yeah, so as you like reach that max relationship, you fill out all the hearts. You can ask someone if you want to be like, you want to go steady by crafting these armbands. And it's one made out of moonstones. You take it like, it's basically like a proposal, like, will you be my girlfriend? And they'll be like, yes or no. I don't know the odds if it's based solely on like max, but like, I was nervous she was going to say no, but she didn't. But if say Asano, like the barkeep who like finds you when you land here, say you like love her now. I also have her maxed out. I'm not doing anything about it. I love Farah, but I have her maxed out. If I wanted to date her instead, there's like a divorce ring that you can get where you like take the divorce ring. You're like, Farah, I don't love you anymore. I haven't done it. I don't know how it works or what it does. I don't know if I get the ring back or anything. But then you take another ring to Asano and be like, hey, I love you now. And then you date them. Again, I don't think it does anything for your game, but if you want to be a little messy about your relationships, you can do that. So what are your thoughts on the relationships?
Listen, I have an incredibly rare achievement.
Okay.
That only 4% of players have gotten in this past year. Okay. It's not alchemy, it's alchemy. And you get that when you get rejected for a date 3 times in a row.
Did I get that one? Where's my Steam?
I don't know.
Hold on. Let me see. I feel like I got an achievement for something like that, but I don't know if I got that one too. What was that one called?
It's not alchemy, it's alchemy.
Do I have that one? I don't think I do. No.
Only 4.1% got it.
There's the point you said. I'm like, wait, did I get that? Stop showing the doc. Damn it. Damn. No, I don't think I do. That's really funny. Yeah. I think I got something for getting. Actually. Nah, never mind. That was a separate game. That was redacted. Don't worry about it. Okay. That was redacted. Don't worry about it, everybody. Don't worry about it.
No, but I do like the relationship system. It doesn't seem that impactful, like you say. It's mostly like a thing. Like it's fun. It's fun to like get to know people, even though they don't really give you that much story or anything.
Yeah.
It still feels like the how do I say this? it's the part of the game that feels the least
kind of developed, like the least
worked,
impactful.
Developed.
Yeah.
That's the word I was looking for. It feels like they could have done, especially since there aren't that many villagers.
Yeah, I think there's
so I feel like
10
something like that.
Yeah.
So I feel like they could have done more to like give them backstories and have stories that evolve, give them character arcs.
Yeah.
Maybe during the dating process, you get to know them better. I went on a date with Guyana, and she started like opening up slightly.
Yep.
Well, she's not really an open person to begin with. So there's a little bit of that, but I feel like it could have been more. But that's like probably the only critique I have of this game that's slightly negative.
Yeah. I think so I'd also ask, I've been calling her Gianna. I was saying Guyana. I'm like, I don't know if that sounds right. I'm gonna go with Gianna. But I had asked her on a date, and I didn't know if there was going to be the interaction between like asking multiple people on a date and be like, you're on a date with her? No, it doesn't seem like that's a thing. But the one night, the way it basically works, you go in, do you want to go on a date? They say, you pick a spot. If they say yes, meet me in 2 days at 8:00 p.m. I don't know if you can change the time. I think it's all military time, but I'm just like 20 o'clock. I'll be there at 20 o'clock, baby. I'll see you there. The first date I was supposed to have with her, I was out doing a dungeon and I died. Like all my monsters died. And that resets the day. Like you go to the next day, like you sleep in. So I'm like, oh no, this is the first date I missed. What's going to happen? So I rolled into the flower shop. She's like, oh, you think it's cool to just stand people up? And she's already standoffish as it is. So like, I couldn't tell how unique of a conversation that was, but obviously she called me out for missing it. And I sat there going, I died. There was nothing I could do. I literally died. That's why I couldn't make it. I just wanted an option to explain myself. But then I just kept talking. Then I took her mom on a date. Her mom's like, you're so sweet. I'm like, yeah, get fucked, you.
Oh my god. Okay.
But yeah, no, the dating's like, it's fun. It's just a fun, goofy little thing you have on the side that's not like super important. Like I said, I was expecting like objectives from it, or like, oh, I have a better perk for this, or I save more money, or blah, 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 blah. But none of that really happens. So yeah. Just a fun, like, who's my girlfriend? I might be your girlfriend. Let's go.
It's the same thing with like, you're asked to like, give every villager a spirit.
Yes. Yep.
And it doesn't like, it's cool to like see them run around with their spirit that you gave them, but nothing really happens with them.
Yeah, there's a handful that seem to give you something. Like I think they all make a comment like, let me give you something.
Yeah.
Some I've seen, like Zed, like the guy in charge of all the stuff, he gives you a cool indicator for your compass that tells you when you're near moonstones. So I'm like, oh, that's awesome. That's good to know. It's not super clear. It kind of just blinks. It's like a metal detector. Like I might be near one, but like what's near, like relatively, what does that mean? So sometimes you miss a bunch of shit. But yeah, I think the others have given me stuff, but I couldn't tell you what they gave me. If they did, it might have just been like, again, dialogue that didn't really translate to anything, but sometimes
I think Osono gives you like a free coffee every day.
Yes, that's right. Yep. Because I think I've only done like 5 of them. So I gave Paolo Oaken, which I don't know if he gave me anything. I did Osono. Is that how you said it? I was calling her Asano.
I think
Asano.
I
was saying Asano, but that sounded a little more masculine. I wasn't really sure, but the hot bar lady.
Yeah.
I gave her. I gave Zed, Gianna. I gave hers, and somebody else. I haven't gotten Farah's yet because there's 2 types that require specific environments, and this might be a good way to transition into like the spirits and the monster stuff. Also real quick, hey Malachi, what's poppin', dog? So there's like psychic storms, and I guess there's like dark storms or dark islands or something to the effect. But these psychic storms just spawn on random islands. Yo, her in that bikini's crazy. Look at those arms. But let's talk about psychic storms. Yeah, so the psychic types are only available there, so you have to either have a potion to find it, or luck out. And like twice I've landed on the island by accident when the psychic storm was happening. So I was like, this is the time. I'm staying up as late as I possibly can to capture as many of the psychic spirits as I can. I think I currently have like 5 or 6 of them with a bunch of like the psychic plants. So that's nice.
That is nice.
But yeah, it's a chill time. But speaking of which, spirits, monsters. Where are you at with these fun little spirit guys? How do you like the battling?
I adore the battling.
Yeah.
It's I mean, it's card based. That's always going to be a win for me. But it feels like it's not just. For example, Ooblets had a card game as well,
right?
The dance battles, but those didn't really feel like. It felt as if you didn't really have that much impact on the game. You were either gonna win or gonna lose anyway, and the AI wasn't really that good for them.
Yeah.
Whilst I didn't have that feeling here, I felt like my decisions mattered, and I especially love the whole system with the shield that you have to get down before you can do more damage and stuff like that. I really like that because it made you strategize in a way that I wasn't expecting from this game.
Yeah, dude, it's sick. I'm trying to find footage here. Here we go into one of the dungeons. But yeah, because the way the battle works is so each time you get a new spirit, they have like their own deck of cards, and you have a team of 3, and you essentially shuffle all 3 of their decks together, and then based on which card you play is which monster will attack and who will do what and whose stats will get buffed. I ended up having a team of sheep. I had Elaplant, and I've kind of switched that third slot. For the longest time it was Mumbleweed, but he's like having a Rattata or a Bidoof from the beginning and keeping him around, so I'm like, I could place him. So right now I have I think it's Tattle. He's like a little walking gecko dude, and he has a lot of poison. But yeah, essentially when you attack the enemies, everyone has a shield for how much like defense they have. That'll basically block any incoming damage up to that threshold. So if you hit someone for 7 and they have a shield of 7, you do no damage, depending on the card. Sometimes it bleeds through, but typically, if their number out matches yours, you do no damage. They block it. But if you have a bash card, which as you level it up will do a certain amount of damage and bring it down, any number you have over their amount of shield will bleed through. So for my Magic the Gathering heads, Trample, I think is the right one. Yeah, that should be right.
Yeah.
But yeah, so as you knock that out, if you knock out their shield entirely, they get staggered, and then they take 1.5 times damage, so you do the most. Which the strategy of finding, I beat this guy, I knock this guy out, there's 3 of them, shoot, they outnumber me, so if I focus this guy down first, then I knock him out, then it's 2v3, so I can kind of work this. But then, like you said, they're pretty smart, so all of a sudden, like, oh, look, we're all water types, maybe if we all just jump your fire sheep real quick. I'm like, please, stop.
Yeah.
He's my strongest one. I need him really bad. But I found, like, typically with Pokemon, the thing is, like, as you're finding new Pokemon, you want to grind them up, give them XP and stuff to then kind of make them viable for your team. I found a struggle with doing that so far because I think the leveling up's pretty hard.
Yeah.
Because, like, I think I'm in a spot where everything is too high for me or too low for me. I don't really have an island right now that's, like, a solid level for me. I think my Mon's around, like, 19, 20, like, level-wise.
Okay.
And like even that's after getting to fall. There is a plant that I think I got from the Psychic Storm that gives like 250 XP per plant. So I'm trying to like get a shit ton of that and just shove it down my monster's throat. Like, you guys level up real quick. And I'm seeing, like, I have it growing outside right now, but I'm seeing fall come to an end. I'm like, I need to grow and pick this now, because the moment the new season starts, your shit's just dead. It just all dies in your garden. So you have to start with the new plants. But then that's where the greenhouse comes in, where you can grow stuff out of season in there. So I'm building that up to have a bunch of XP farms. And then as I can do, just level up. And I think that's what I need to do to progress right now. It's just a little bit tedious. But I'm
I get that. Like, I have the same problem. My spirits are at, I think, level 27 or 28. But it's a struggle to like level them up now. And the weird thing is, I get into these battles with like level 35 spirits, and I manage to win. But then I get level 27 spirits and I lose. Which feels a bit weird to me. And it's not because of, like, you could say it's like it's because I use the wrong types of spirits.
Sure.
But it's not that. It's a little bit weird.
Yeah, I think it's with the intelligence of the AI, but also like leveling them up. Like I've Elaplant is one I picked up later. I had a team. I think I had the Mumbleweed, my Sheep, and then the Scarecrow dude. Like that was my team for the longest time. I dropped the Scarecrow dude for my Elephant because I fucking love elephants. But one I'll talk about his annoyance. It's nothing to do with battle, but he's an annoying little fucker. He was so fragile. Like they put him at the front of the party. I didn't know if there was a good way to organize, so I can put him in the back. So it was like maybe out of sight, out of mind. It doesn't work that way. No. But he was getting clapped every single time. Like the match would start, it'd be my turn. I'm like, what am I gonna do? And they show what the enemy's turn's gonna be, and they all be like, we're jumping that Elephant dog. He's done. And I'm like, guys, he's got like 10 HP. Leave him alone. I just want to level him up. Let him get some XP.
Just a little guy.
He's just a little man. Let him go. But they would jump him instantly. So I was being a 2v3. Not that I couldn't handle because I was out leveled, or I out leveled them, but I couldn't level him up for the longest time. It took me so long just to get him to like level 10 so he could actually compete. But now that I leveled him up, this little man's a fucking G, dude. He's got so many great cards. Have you seen the Hydromancy card yet?
Oh yeah.
I love that card. For context, Hydromancy, the base level takes every card in your hand and makes it like it's max level. So as you level up the mons, the cards get better. You can increase what they do. Sometimes like it does 5 damage, now it does 7, or it does 10 damage, now it does 12. It hits 2 times, now it hits 3 times. And Hydromancy leveled up upgrades every card in your deck. So like now if I get that on turn 1, I play that, and now my deck is maxed out to what it can be for this entire fight. Still matters what I draw and when, but like every card is going to be good, which is like, let's go, baby. That's awesome.
See, we're going to make a Slay the Spire fan out of you.
Listen. I plan to. Once we get a little more on Slay the Spire 2, I'll probably hop into Slay the Spire 1. Yeah, get around there. But yeah, and then probably a good time to talk about like how the cards work and how the leveling up works. Do you want to talk about that? Because it's kind of unique from like other monster catchers.
What do you mean with the leveling up is different?
So like how you level up, and then you have to like go in the medallion and actually like select what they have to do.
Yeah, so you level up, and then you have like these 4 stats that you can assign points to, and that's your shield, that's your speed, that's your power, and that's your health. So each time you level up, you get 1 point to add to one of these 4 categories, and then after you did that, you get to choose 1 card from 3 different ones to add to your deck as well. It is an innovative way of like leveling up. You also can like, there are these shrines on different islands, and if you meditate at these shrines, you get to choose one of 3 options. You get a talisman that lets you add a card to one of your spirit's decks. You can upgrade a card, or you can remove a card. Am I saying that right?
Yeah, this should be right. Yeah, either upgrade, add a new, or delete. Yeah. And I don't know if
these talismans
more. I've been doing a lot of just upgrade as opposed to deleting.
Oh, same. I only do upgrades.
That make it better, baby.
Yeah. So these talismans have to be fed to your spirits as well, so you can choose like which ones to upgrade their cards.
Yeah, I've really enjoyed the flow of the combat. I think my biggest complaint being like finding a spot to level up, and I think maybe I just imagine the world, right, where I spawn in the middle and I have to kind of go outwards to find things. I think I imagine that being like Gradial, where I'm like, it's simple in the middle, easy, medium, hard. So I figured if I'd find that spot, I'd like, this is where it's going to be for like my grinding spot. It isn't really like that necessarily. Like I found a fire island that I went to one island. I found a teleporter, which took me to that fire island, which is like, everything's your level like 40. I'm like, yep, I can't be here. I need to go home. I need to leave. But I was like, somewhere in between these islands, there must be a spot for me to grind, where it wasn't the case. But then I started exploring a little more to like the east. And that's where I was like, okay, things here are kind of like my level, or like I'm finding more dungeons that are in like my 20s. But then I went even further out and I found a dungeon that was like level 10. And I'm like, oh, I'm steamrolling this. So it's a little confusing sometimes when it comes to finding the spots to go to. But I think once you find the good plants, that might just be the way to do it, is grind up XP and hopefully just maybe over level early, which might take away some of the fun. But you know, you gotta do what you gotta do. That's the route I took.
Yeah, that's how I played it. But I do have the same problem as you now with finding it difficult to like keep leveling them up.
Yeah, I think if I can find a comfortable spot to level up like everyone, because again, like this is, my team's been pretty consistent throughout. Like my starter's not leaving. I've had Elaplant. And then that third spot kind of shuffles if I can get something that's worth replacing it. But sometimes like I have these guys here chilling, but they're just not strong enough right now. Now, if I catch somebody that's higher level, that might be worth it for sure. But like the other day I caught one, I'm like, yes, nice. And then immediately Zed's like, I sure wouldn't mind having this Pokemon. I'm like, fucker, I just caught that. I need it. Damn it. Okay. Here, take it. Take it, I guess. But
yeah, my team was for the longest time. My team was Shimp, Hopstraw, and Emo Shroom.
Okay.
but then Guyana wanted an Emo Shroom, and who am I to say no to Guyana?
There you go. You can have it, I guess.
Yeah. So now instead of she wants Emo Shroom because it has the same hair as her.
Yeah. It was really funny because like some of them are more like, hey, I want this guy. Like Paolo, I think is the first one you get. He's just like, I want the guy that's a tree. His name's like Oakley or Okafer or Oaktifer, like Christopher, but Oak. It's like, oh, Oakland. He wants Oakland. Okay. So I found that, gave it to him. It's great. And then some are just like, I want one that's cuddly and kind of warm. And I'm like, this motherfucker want my sheep? You want my sheep? You can't have it. So I've yet to find another sheep yet. But when I do, I'll give that to Quill. But for now, I just see him eyeballing mine. I'm like, don't you fucking dare. This is mine. Stay away.
Have you encountered Karki yet?
I have not. I think I've seen the picture of it.
It's basically Lightning McQueen.
Yeah. He looks so cute. I think I remember seeing him like during some of the developer, like, hey, we're working on this. I'm like, this guy's so cute. He's a fire type, yeah? Yeah, okay. So I haven't survived enough on a fire island. I have there's also charms you can get to explore some of these islands that'll do reduced damage. Each island has like a different status. There's poison, electric, fire. I know there's other types. There's an ice type too, so I assume there's like a freezing element, but I haven't seen that yet. But like as you stand on the electric island, you'll have this bar that fills up. It's like zig, 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 and it'll just like shock you for like however much damage. But as you make these charms, there's bronze, iron, and moonstone, and the higher they are, the more resistance you get. So if you have the moonstone one, you just resist whatever's on there. I currently have just an iron electric one, but I need to get fireballs so that I can get the moonstone fire one, so I can go to the fire islands and not worry about dying to the environment, just the monsters that are overleveled. But yeah, so it's that balance between like doing one thing, doing the next, and I've really enjoyed like that cycle of finding like which activity I need to do first so I can better myself for the next one. That's really cool. But
it is.
I still want to bitch about Elaplant for a second.
Okay.
I love this little man. I would die for him. His problem, right? So if you could set it that your team follows you. I didn't know you could like individually be like, you stay. They're still on the team. They just don't walk behind you. Elaplant is constantly watering the ground. So when I'm walking through my garden trying to harvest stuff, he's just planting new patches of grass. And I'm like, I'm trying to sift and get seeds and stuff. And he's just like, grass everywhere. And I'm like, Elaplant, I'm going to knock you out. I need you to stop. And he's just like, no, everywhere I walk, this is what we're doing. So eventually I went in to feed him and level him up. And it's like, stop following me. I'm like, oh yeah. Oh, you're going away. So he's still on the team. But now like, I haven't cleaned it up yet, but there's a path between my house and the village that I'm going up and down between, and it's just filled with grass. Like it is just entirely filled because I just haven't cleaned it up. But that's everywhere we walked. He's like, water. I'm like, you suck.
Nice.
But again, I die for him.
But listen, you need cloth.
Yeah, no, you're right.
You need grass.
You're right.
So he's just doing his best.
He is just, do it outside. If I could like keep him out of the garden so I wasn't impeding with that, because I'm just draining my stamina, cleaning up after a little shit, but it's fine.
So what do you think about like the designs for the spirits?
I think so far I don't have any that I like hate. I think they're all great. I think they do this like goofiness of like middle generation Pokemon where they're not quite as weird as they are now, but they're not as like basic as like Gen 1 type stuff. Like Mumbleweed is very like Tangela coated, where it's just like a ball of scrap with like the eyes peeking out. Whereas like I look at Sheep and I'm like, there's nothing I immediately tie you to, like you're this Pokemon. Like maybe it's kind of got peak clone energy to it. but it's not as blatant as something like Palworld, where you're like, that's a Luxray, that's a Meganium, that like they didn't take the parts, but like you can see the similarities of like I have comfort with this Pokemon, and this spirit is very like similar to it. But I always got that like that enjoyment of walking around, being like, oh my god, who's this new little guy, and like, can I capture him? And then the way you capture them is by feeding them certain flowers that increase like their tame limit. And then it's like the Pokemon thing, the ball shakes 3 times and they go like, okay, I'll stay. And when it shakes that 3rd time, they join the party. You can either add them to the party, send them to the barn, or send them to like the computer type deal. But yeah, I really enjoy the designs. How about you?
Oh, same. I really like the puns in the names as well. Like there's this little cloud guy, and he's called Claudio.
Claudio.
And I just think that's fantastic. But yeah, the designs are fun. Yeah, the designs are fun, and it's like you say, it doesn't feel like a blatant ripoff. They really try to, except for Karki. Really, you need to look up Karki.
Car. There we go. Here he is. This little stinker. Open image. All right. I guess I shouldn't have done this in full screen. Yeah, Karki. Yeah. I love him. He's so cute.
Tell me how that isn't Lightning McQueen.
Good job. Do you nickname yours? I haven't done that, but I know you can. Okay. Yeah, I'm very much keep their names so I know what they are. But like OG Bus. But yeah, like even zooming just a little bit, there's like I forgot they put Pom Bomb in from Casepis is in there as well.
They also have Radlat from Ooblets.
Oh no shit! Yep. I'm going for the Radlat. He's on this list. No, I don't want to bookmark it. I hate my life. But yeah, there's so many, and like I don't want to sit and linger too much. I'm like I want to see these guys surprised. There's also shiny forms, which I've yet to run into any.
Same.
But also, we got to talk about the coolest guy in here, which is Cool Slime. He's just a cool slime. He's just a cool slime. Yeah. No, these are great. I'm like thoroughly enjoying my time with this game. We had both said like, I think the goal would have been to beat it, but like realistically, just it wasn't feasible to do that in the month's time with everything else going on. But like, as we wrap up and do the podcast and everything, I'll probably slow down with it, but I really plan to just jump in every now and again and keep playing more. I know I've said tonight, I'm like, I got 3 other redacted games to play, so I got to put Moonstone Island on the side. But I'd like to like at least finish the year and get through and see like what the end looks like, or like if I have to complete all the tasks to beat the game, like so be it. That just might be a over the years process, but I don't want to backlog it too much, but I do want to come back to it.
Yeah, same. I also want to see what rare achievements I can get still.
Okay.
It's like the one I mentioned before, which only 4% of players have, isn't my rarest achievement.
What the fuck? Okay. What else you got?
I have She Did Warn You, which only 2% of people have.
Okay.
And that's when you pass out after eating Osono's dish of the day.
Oh no. Oh shit. So like from the dish, or like if I eat the dish and then just go and do a bunch of stuff and pass out like
from the dish.
Oh no.
I was like I was on a different island, and I needed to fly back because I had already used the flute.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm gonna eat this and hopefully it'll improve my stamina. And instead I fainted.
Damn.
Yeah.
Oh no, what a Sano. She's so nice. I see. I did get, I don't think it's a rare one, but I did get the one to fail fleeing in battle 3 times in a row.
Oh,
that's one of the achievements. Okay. And when that one popped, I'm like, I hate that you're celebrating my misfortune, because I was just like outnumbered. They literally, I was like, flee? No, kill one of your monsters. Flee? No, kill the other monster. I'm like, flee? And they're like, no, kill your whole team, respawn, bitch. I'm like, please, I want to leave. But now I've upgraded that I have 100% flee chance, so I'm like, good, if I need to get out of here, I'm out.
Yeah.
Bastards.
Yeah.
Oh man, any other thoughts on Moonstone Island?
I did see that there's plenty of DLC that you can buy.
Yeah,
mostly cosmetics. But I haven't bought any of them. I did notice that I bought the soundtrack and the art book when I bought the game when it originally came out.
Nice.
But I am interested if the DLC adds much to the game. There's one that aims like that has festivals, or did I see that?
I'm not sure. I'm doing a quick little scroll here. I'm looking. There's a DLC to get married.
Seriously?
Design for Lovers DLC pack. Hold on. I'm not. Will you marry me? That's yes, but okay. Hold on. $4 to marry Farah. I'm in. I'm in. Okay. So I got to pick that up later. I had to pick that up then. Yeah, pool party stuff. Chef's kiss. I got distracted. What was your question again?
I just wondered if you were gonna get any of those, but I guess you are.
At least I'm not so pressed for the cosmetics one. I think one of them was free. It was like the summer update or whatever. Yeah. I think I got that just because it was free. I didn't grab any of the paid ones. I definitely think I'd be down to grab any that add like content. I'm not so much interested in like the cosmetic stuff. I'm not one to upgrade my house too much. If I find something in Palo Shop, I'm like, that's kind of nifty, I'll grab it and throw it in. But I don't spend a lot of time customizing as much as I just like add shit to organize myself. But yeah, like this lover one that like adds marriage and everything. Like, yeah, that's an add-on I would love to do. More that's gameplay focused than just the cosmetic stuff. But yeah. Damn.
I would love it if they brought more story to the game.
That'd be awesome.
Like we compared it to Stardew earlier, and like Stardew has these festivals every season.
Yeah,
which adds a lot to the story, and there's nothing like that here.
Okay.
Like you have birthdays.
Yeah.
Where you can like give them something, and it gives you extra friendship points, I think. But that's about it.
Yeah, because even then you're still like, I'm getting extra points for a nothing ending that doesn't really do anything. So, but we'll see. Once I can marry my girlfriend, we'll see when that does. We'll see. Maybe that'll make the game a perfect thing. Game of the year contender a year later.
Yeah. You could probably make the ring herself.
Yeah, listen. Get you a girl who can do both, baby. I had tweeted out. Are you? So I didn't ask what your relationship status. Are you just like high relationship with Farah? Are you like girlfriend with Farah, or
yeah? Okay. I gave her the armband.
Lucky damn, dude. Tofr and I were polygamous, man. That's crazy. But yeah. Once you're like in a relationship with her, she like sweet talks you all the time. And by sweet talking, she literally just every time you leave a conversation, she's like, "Nice butt," and that's it. And I put on Instagram and I was just like chat whenever I stand up. And it's just like, listen, I'm here for it. It's cute. I love her.
Yeah.
I almost want to like, I'm too afraid to like leave her to see what everyone else says or what they do. I'm like, do I start a new file? I don't want to start a new file. There's no way I can start a new file and do all this again. But I think I make the save. I save at one point, divorce, date other people, etc. And then I'm like, this was terrible. Reload. And then go back to like, but I think I might be the strat just to see if anyone else has anything more exciting. Because again, her being like kind of the basic one, maybe it's easier.
You can't divorce Farah.
Not like on this timeline. It's an imaginary like what if. It's a what if, you know? Like we just gotta like obviously I never would, like never actually would. Like there'll be no video evidence of it, but like and then medic with the CGDannyB. Yeah, exactly. Man, this game rocks. I really like this game so much.
It does.
Good pick.
I also like. There's one thing I want to mention as well.
Yeah.
I went on a date with Guyana.
Okay.
And she's like, "You never speak. Why are you always this quiet?"
Yeah.
I thought that was fun because like your character doesn't say a word. So I thought that was like a really fun way to point that out.
Yeah. I didn't see anywhere. Is the characters a non-binary? I don't know if it's written like you were a male character. They're very gender fluid appearance wise. So I don't know if there's a specificity of like your character or if it's more just like whatever you want to be.
I think it's a girl, but I'm not sure.
I would definitely think it was more female presenting, but I could see it being a very like soft male appearance. So I was like, whichever one you want it to be, because there wasn't like an option like you want to be a boy or a girl. But just seeing if our character was gay or not, we had to figure those things out. It's important to know, for the story. I did forget to mention. So my first date with Farah. I fumbled the bag real hard. So we went to the beach and she was like, "Oh, it's so nice out here. I wonder what we could do." And the option was like, hold hands, cuddle, or skinny dip. And I'm like, let's see what she says to skinny dip. And she's like, no, you're a perv. No. I was like, no, wait, go back. And I was like, I thought about reloading the save so I didn't mess it up, but I couldn't. My save was way too far back. I'm like, fuck. Yeah. Shit. Oh, no. I've ruined this whole thing. But then I just kept talking to her inside.
I can't believe you went for skinny dipping.
I thought maybe. Listen, I won't lie. If I was prepared for something spicy to happen out of nowhere, like this was not what I was ready for, but I'm here for it. But
the obvious correct answer was dig a hole together.
Yeah,
I picked that one. I picked that one, and she was really happy about it.
I was hoping I would get the question again, and then she'd be like, "Yeah, let's go." I was hoping it was like a hard thing, and eventually, there's nothing actually spicy in this game. It's all just like flavor text, whatnot. But I was like, the skinny dipping, maybe.
I do think there's an achievement for when you sleep in someone else's bed. So
yeah, there is. Yeah,
might be some spice.
I will say, I mean, maybe a little bit of spoiler. Yeah, there is an achievement for that. Yeah, you just don't. Nothing really happens. It's one of those fade to black things. So I don't know if you're banging. I don't know if you're banging or anything. You might be. You could be, but as far as visually, it is the same. Like you're standing there like, hey, if you want to spend the night, fade to black. I think that went well. And then good morning. Like, but you wake up in their house as opposed to like yours, which I'm like, okay, all right, okay. Which I won't lie, it's a little inconvenient because then I got to run back to my house so I can feed my Pokemon and shit. I'm like, oh man, I got to go feed the dog. But nah, it's great. I'm having such a blast with this game. I was in a similar boat as you, where like I picked it up on launch, but I think I requested a key and they were like, sorry, we just don't have enough keys. I'm like, don't worry about it. So I picked it up and then was playing something I did have a key for. I received a key for, so I only prioritized it. It just got away from me. So you pick it up for the book club and like finally getting back to it, I'm like, yeah, this was good. I think had I played this last year, well, maybe I can't say. I'm sure they've added new stuff and updated stuff, so it might be different. But I could have seen this being in my top 10 last year had I played it. So yeah, it's a banger.
Same. It really is. Also, one final point, maybe.
Yeah, absolutely.
The art style. I adore the art style. It's probably my favorite since Moonlighter.
It's so good. It's so good.
Yeah.
But yeah. I love the way it looks. Mainly our character. Like there's three different like posters or cover arts for this game you can look up when you see it. There's one that's a little more like elongated that I don't love, but there's one that's like a very cute, like chubby character, a lot more akin to like the sprite work. And I love it. I love everything about it. It's super cute, super charming. There's so much more to explore and see, and I want to see it all. But
yeah, same.
I need more hours in the day for that.
Exactly.
Oh man, but imaginary timestamp. We do need to pick a game for our next book club. Now, Tofr, we talked a little bit on Discord about what should we play next. October's coming. Do we play something horror? I had the idea of doing Slay the Princess with the Pristine Edition coming out, but it just says fall, so we can't bank on it coming out in October that we can do it. So we said, what's a game that we enjoy, that would be fun to go back and play a second time, might get a little bit of tearjerkers out of us. It's the first game I told you I was thinking about doing for the book club, and you're like, what if we did this one? I'm like, you know what, you're right, let's circle back to it. So for the month of October, our book club will be Spiritfarer, which am so excited. I played through it on Switch. I bought it on PlayStation with the hopes of getting the platinum. I don't know if that'll be for the book club, but I will be playing the PlayStation version this time around, so I am very excited to get and play more. Nice. Spiritfarer, I'm gonna cry so many times.
You're gonna cry a lot. This is gonna be. Also, right now on Steam, you can get the Farewell Edition on sale for like 75% off.
Yo, bet. Hold on, chat. I'm pulling this up for you guys because, like, listen. I love that, and like I double checked. No one wrote in for the thing, but let me see. Spirit Theater, yeah, $8. Holy shit, guys, what are you doing? And on Game Pass, there we go, Medic. I expect you to be playing for the book club. Yeah, I love this game. I already played it before. It was my lunch break game at my previous job, where I would I had the Switch pulled up as soon as like click for lunch break. I would open up the wiki on my computer, play through, collect the things that I needed, send people, to the afterlife where they needed to be. I love this game, and I think the Farewell Edition is one I own physical. They added more characters that I never got to meet, never got to spend time with. So that's going to be a brand new experience for me with these guys, with Lily, Beverly, and Jackie and Daria. So I've never got to see these guys. So I'm excited to see. Oh my God, Beverly's so cute, little owl.
You are in for a treat.
I'm so excited. Lily's so cute. Yeah. These will all be brand new characters for me I haven't seen. So like that'll be just more content for Spiritfarer that I can be like, shit, I played it again and I'm so excited. Ah, man.
Nice.
Good times. Let me see here. But yeah, I'll play some Spiritfarer. That'll be for, I guess, look at the calendar here. So if we're talking late October, we're looking at the last 29? Week would be the 29th. Yeah, the 29th would be our Spiritfarer one. Yeah, that'll be it. That's the plan. I don't know. I had an there like I was gonna say some like asterisks on it, but yeah. I was gonna do what we've been playing, but we're already at an hour and a half, so maybe it's worth I could just be like, Worlds of Aria. I've got a key. I've played like an hour of it. It's a fun, cute little game. It's like Baldur's Gate, dice rolling, except you're trying to aim like lower for like a crit success than higher with a crit fail type deal. But it's fun. It's fun. And then we both have redacteds, but.
Yeah, I'm streaming Worlds of Aria this Sunday.
Yes, there we go. That's the plug. Let's go.
For anyone who wants to see the way it works.
Yeah, absolutely.
Join me on Sunday, and if you're in the United States, it's gonna be in the morning.
Get up, rise and shine, a little stretch. You know what I mean? Definitely play it for sure.
Like Saturday. It's like your Saturday morning cartoons, but instead it's a Sunday morning and it's a video game.
There you go. Exactly. Honestly, it's still the same. Might as well, get that adventure going.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely want to do more coverage for Worlds of Aria. I'll probably either next week for the podcast or whatnot. Try to get a little more time into it so I can talk about it more. I've only played like an hour, but like it's really charming visually, so I'm really excited to play more. And I guess with that, nothing else we played. All the Moonstone Island, perfect. So it's a good time to talk about what indies are releasing this week. The first one on the list is Dangerous. It's dangerous. Oh, yeah. This is for the week of September 26th through October 2nd. We've got Balatro September 26th for mobile. Productivity dead, gone out the window. Do we know if we can sync our Steam account to it, or is it gonna be like a brand new? Do we know?
No idea.
Okay. So if I can put my Steam account, then we're in trouble. If I got to start fresh, I might be able to like weed myself a little bit, but then I'll want to just go play the PC one instead. But yeah, if you haven't played Balatro, please do yourself a favor. Play Balatro. This is a game of the year contender, people. And now it's on your fucking phones. Play it. Let me see. While you're looking at that, next up we have Shadows of Doubt making its way to PlayStation and Xbox, and I guess 1.0 for PC on September 26th. Then we have the Holy Gosh Darn coming out September 26th for PC. Breachway September 26th for PC. 26th, man. Holy shit. Mouthwashing coming September 26th for PC. I don't know what that is. We have to look that one up.
We saw that one in the sixth one in the.
Oh, game. Yes, we did. We did. Okay, now I remember. Hold on. Let me see this bad boy. I think I'm like, which one is that? Yeah, this one's hold on, this one's creepy. This is when Mike's like, yo, my favorite upcoming horror game. Yeah, this does look really cool though. Moose. Anyway. Yeah, that one looks cool. Let's see. Coming out September 27th for PC is Isle of Swaps. Also on the 27th, we have Realm of Ink coming to PC in early access. We have Pinball Spire on October 2nd for PC. And then we have Kill Knight on October 2nd for PlayStation, Xbox, Switch, and PC. I think that was a AAA initiative. I think we saw that one.
Yeah.
That one looked cool. Kill Knight looked cool. I think it's played the beta.
I'm really looking forward to Isle of Swaps and Pinball Spire.
Yeah, I took a Pinball Spire. Isle of Swaps looks cool.
Isle of Swaps looks amazing. It's like inspired by the Pokemon trading card game.
Yeah.
And it's as colorful as that was, and it really hits this kind of nostalgia for me. And then Pinball Spire is like a roguelike pinball game.
Okay. Yeah, this looks cool. It's all the creature collectors. I gotta remember which ones come from what, but some of these remind me of what's the new one from the Chicory team? The volleyball one. I'm gonna call it Buddy Ball. That's not what it's called. Shoot.
Let me check.
I back it on Kickstarter. I can't think what it's called. Yeah, I think it's a Chicory team. Let me see. We said
Beastie Ball.
Beastie Ball. Beastie Ball. That's the one. Yeah. I keep thinking that. I'm like, it's like Beastie Ball, but cards. And then Pinball Spire. Oh no! Wait, this looks dangerous. Looks cool. I like a good pinball game. I think we had enough pinball games, and because Pokemon won't give me another Pokemon pinball.
Exactly. And I played the demo for this during the last Next Fest, and I had a really good time.
Oh yeah! Is this an adventure game? Is it? You said it was a roguelike?
It's a roguelike. You have to. You have to escape this dungeon, I guess. But I haven't managed to get very far into it. But
this looks really cool. Add the demo to my library. Hell yeah! Pinball Spire, people. There we have it. And those are the games releasing this week. Be sure to let us know which games you are most excited for. And then, because Hypnotic's crazy and late and stuff, timestamp mentally. Got it. It's good. Don't forget, you can write into the show and tell us about your favorite indie game, just like Hypnotic did, who said Cult of the Lamb. Feel bad that I had to wait till it came to PlayStation Plus to play it. And I love the versatility with weapons and curses and outfits to make the game easier/harder. Fuck, I love Cult of the Lamb so much. I love Cult of the Lamb so much. That was my game of the year that year. I have always talked about like the experience I had with playing solo and then playing with chat, where like with a stream version, like I'm talking to chat and they're like, "Oh, crazy, make my character eat poop," and blah 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 blah, and them turning against me and like, "Oh, medics against CGDannyB, kill him, put him in the guillotine," or whatever, like, and then going hard
sacrifice
for the other one.
him.
Exactly. Listen, those little motherfuckers that were talking mad shit to me in the Cult of the Lamb, they're dead to me. Into the gallows for the rest of their life. But Cult of the Lamb is such a banger, and like I think there's like 4 or 5 people in my regular chat who have been playing lately now that it's on PlayStation Plus or they picked it up on sale, and hearing them maybe speak like I'm doing this, and they're playing the version that's well past where I platinumed it. So there's the actual breeding stuff now, the Sins of the Flesh DLC. There's the co-op version now, that update is out. So there's all this extra content that they're talking about. I'm like, shit, this is all new stuff that wasn't there, so I'm not like familiar with it, but I'm like, I don't have time to go play Cult of the Lamb again for the 5th time. I can't do this again. But
I know, right? I know. I originally bought the game on Xbox when I still had an Xbox Series S.
Yeah.
Then I bought a Switch and I was like, oh, I want to play this handheld. So I bought it on the Switch. And then I got a Steam Deck and I'm like, oh, this is so much fun. So I got it on Steam as well because money is, apparently I have enough to spend.
Listen, this is my logic with indie games because they're always like a third of the price of a regular game. So you just buy it 3 times. So you basically bought a full game. Do you know how many times I've owned Shovel Knight? I've bought probably 4 AAA games worth of Shovel Knight with regular edition. And I'm going to do it again when Deluxe comes out. That's the rule. That's the rule for indies. So, Medic says, it's so good. You've got to play the new DLC. I do. I think it says, was it paid DLC or was it just updates with the game? I'd probably just have to reinstall, but I forget how that went down.
I think they're free updates, but I'm not sure.
Oh, I just want to bang. I just want to bang in that game, man. Sins of the Flesh, Tofr. There's still 2 more to come, and they're all free. Bet. All right. Okay. Noted.
Nice.
Noted. Fuck. It's all right. We're good. We're fine. It's fine. Maybe we got to make a book club. I don't know.
Maybe.
But yeah, Cult of the Lamb. It's a great ass game. You guys should play it if you haven't, just like the rest of the Nomies are. They're good kids.
It's one of those, like, we talk about these classic indies like your Celeste or Shovel Knight. And this is one of the most recent ones that I would add to that list.
Yeah.
Of like, this is a must play.
Yeah, this is one of those times like you hear the name Devolver and like, even I wouldn't say Devolver has a lot of misses, but like they do have some that don't quite peak like others. Like we did have just this last year we had Gunbrella. This year we had Pepper Grinder, which was like our first episode of the show, which great games, but I don't think they like exploded like some of the others. And Cult of Lamb is like one of those, like when you see, if they did the Devolver Smash Bros, I could easily see Cult of Lamb being the Mario or being the Pikachu of the game. Like this is a always on the cover of the game type character. I love Cult of Lamb. I need to go back and play more of the new stuff. Just give me Cult of Lamb 2, dog. Give me another one. Give me a new one.
Hell yeah.
And with online co-op, because I know we want that. I mean, you explain why, I understand. But those hooligans that don't get it, they just don't get it. We get you. We get you guys. But with that, I think that is a wrap on the episode. So guys, thank you so much for watching this episode of Playlog Podcast. Let us know what you thought of Moonstone Island. Are you going to play it for yourself? Check it out. See if it's anywhere available for you on PC or Switch. And I don't know if we get a PlayStation version. That'd be fun to get to. At some point. Mm-hmm. Don't forget, next month we'll be doing Spiritfarer for our book club. Don't worry, Nerdstorm. We're going to wrap the podcast, but we'll hang out for a couple minutes and chat whenever. Again, this is the weird thing doing live on Twitch. I got to talk to chat while I'm doing the thing. I got to talk to you, Tofr, about next week. I got to figure out what's going on with that yet because redacteds. But thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like the episode. If you're on Spotify and the audio service, be sure to leave that 5-star review because it helps us grow quite a bit. Mwah. And outside of that, that's it. You know anything to tell the people, Tofr?
Have a great evening / afternoon / morning.
Exactly. And I finally put Tofr's link in the description, so go click on that and follow him on places. Yeah. I was updating the 6-1 indie one, and then I was like, oh, let me get the link, and I threw on the old one, so it should be there in just the regular copy paste. We're good. But anyway, that's it. Bye.